Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here tonight. My name is Pam Carey, and I am your host for this special event. I want to really tell you that I am living proof today that you can work from anywhere. I left my home in Wheaton, Illinois, outside of Chicago at about 6:45 this morning for a 12-hour trip, and it was 12 hours and 10 minutes because we had to stop for a few times. But I got a full day's work in today on my way here. I came in hot with my hair on fire, and I'm here a couple minutes late, so my apologies, but we really can work from anywhere, and this job has been a joy. I've spoken to a lot of my customers and my teammates today and got a lot of stuff done. So I'm so happy that you're here today. Tonight we have a special opportunity. We'll be answering 7 of the most common questions that are asked by people who are considering starting a Shackley business. And if you have other questions besides the ones that we addressed tonight, stay on and type them in the chat box at the bottom, and we'll stay on at the end and we can answer them at the end of our call. So everybody will get their questions answered tonight for sure. Okay, here we are. It is late September. Fall is here. The air is chillier. We're entering another season and still facing challenges in life. High prices on gas and food are still dogging us. I had a friend yesterday that told me, get bacon on your salad because bacon is $10 a pound. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. So the food is ridiculous. The Fed just rose the interest rates again yesterday. My husband told me on the way down. That's what we talk about on road trips. And I mean, stock markets is terrible. The Dow is down. The economy is really in a bad state. We have supply issues, and now we got to start to concern ourselves about our health as we approach the cold and flu season. So many of us are feeling the pinch everywhere, and we're wondering, what are we going to do? And instead of thinking about cutting back about what you can't have, what if you started thinking about what you can do now to add some extra income to your bank account so that you can pay for those things, the extra expenses that you're looking at now, the illness that you might be looking at in a couple of months, and the holidays are right behind us, right ahead of us, right? An additional $300 to $500 a month can really make a difference for a lot of families. And where are you now? Let's take a minute and think about, where are you? Leaning in here, you've been joining us yesterday and today for these amazing stories. In this sneak peek to a side gig Facebook group. So much good stuff is in there. I love to hear from everybody. If you didn't have a chance to listen, go back in and look at those stories. There's about a dozen new ones in there. So take a look, stream those on your phone, and you will hear some really great from some really great people. But some of you have recently left a job. Some of you may have even lost your job and on the market looking for something new. Maybe you're unhappy with your job. Maybe some of you have now gotten your kids settled into the school year and you're in your rhythm of your activities and stuff, and you're wondering what you're going to do with all the extra time that you seem to have. Well, my best advice is to always consider all your options. Like, lay it all up on the table. And I believe that the more options you have, the more control you have. And having control is comforting in situations like this. My late father taught me 2 things. Number 1, if you don't like your situation, you can always change it. And number 2, you are one decision away from a completely different life. So let's take a look at what's available. So currently there are 3 top trends in business. We put a post up about that today in the Facebook group. Shackley happens to be at the forefront of each of them. First, we have e-commerce. For many of us, gone are the days of brick and mortar, and we're all into click and order, right? Everybody's ordering online and wants things delivered to their home. That's Shackley. Side gigs. It sure makes good sense to have a second stream of income nowadays, and extra protection when we need it. That's Shackley. Health and wellness. Now more than ever, people appreciate the value of their health, and so many realize that they can take simple steps to create better health. And now we can legally say at Shackley, Shackley's the most clinically proven wellness company in the world. And we're so very proud of that. So that's certainly Shackley, because all of these ambassadors here that you see on this call tonight and the ones that are in that group are all ambassadors of Shackley. And we're all so proud to be partnered with them. So tonight we've assembled a panel of Shackley ambassadors, leaders here in our company, who at one time were virtually sitting where you are right now. Some were there earlier this year, some were there a year or 2 ago, and some were there 2 or 3 decades ago. We all remember the exact moment that we made the decision to join what we call the Shackley family. We've asked each of these 7 leaders to answer a question that we might think would be in the forefront of your mind as you consider joining us as a Shaklee ambassador. So the first up on our panel today to answer a question is my friend Coletta. And Coletta is a former nurse. I remember her working overnights and telling her story when I first met her. She lives outside of Texas, and she used to tell me how she'd have to work from 7 p to 7 a. And I learned what that was, and I didn't want to do that. So thank God I was never a nurse, I thought. But Coletta, I've loved your story for a long, long time. And I'm wondering, when you're in conversation with people considering the business opportunity here, what do you tell them when they say, it just is probably too expensive for me to start a business? I can't afford that. What if I don't have enough money?
Pam, one of the things you talked about was that, all the things that we're going through, and we look at what's most important to us. And when we look at what's most important to us, we're going to go after that. And so I'm going to just give you the example quickly, is that when I became a registered nurse, I didn't have any money. I didn't have a scholarship. So what I did was I worked 2 jobs to make it through. I didn't even know how I did it, but that was my goal, to do it. And I'm saying for you, for Shaklee, to go out and get a job. I'm not saying for you to go get a loan. I'm not saying for you to borrow any type. I'm not saying that at all. I'm going to give you a simple way that you can start a business with Shaklee. So how can I do that, Coletta? Well, you all have money. You say, I don't have money, you have money. You're buying products, you're buying gas, you're buying different things for your house. What we say is, Shaklee, I want you to use the money that you already have. Put aside some money. How do you do that? By changing brands. Buy from yourself. That's what Shaklee allows you to do. If you have beauty care products that you're using, you can use that money that you're buying for those other products for your products from Shaklee. We have wonderful skincare products. How about proteins that you're using for your body for exercising or workout? You can buy that from Shaklee. Your soaps, your all your nutritional products you can buy from yourself. And I think that's the part that people don't see, because I didn't see that before. What do you mean I can buy for myself and I can get free products? Doesn't make sense. Well, when you change those brands from what you were buying before, and then use that money to buy the products that you get from Shaklee, spending, I want to say, about $150 starts your business. I often laugh when people say, I'm not laughing at people, I often say that, do you have an iPhone? How much do you pay for the iPhone? Do you have a computer? What? Those are things that they value. So if you value your health and you want to help others, I just say change brands in your household. I'll show you how to do it, and you can start your business right away. And on top of that, you can get your money back. That was one of the things that I said, I'm going to challenge Shaklee. If these products don't work, I'm getting my money back. I didn't get my money back. It's 25 years later. I have my own business. I buy products from myself. I get rewarded because they're loyalty points that we get. I get free products. And on top of that, you have other perks that you get from starting your business and using your own products. So that's what I would say. You're using your own products. And
That's right. Buy from your own store, right?
That's it.
I always say, if you had a mobile station, if you owned a mobile gas station, would you go across the street and fill up at Shell? No, you buy from your own store. So I love it, to easy to earn enough products to offset what I call your Shaklee habit, because good health becomes a habit, and it's not negotiable in our homes. Am I right? Everybody who's here today, it's not negotiable. Thank you so much, Coletta. Next, we have Zoe. Zoe hails from the suburbs of Chicago. She's a mom of 7, founder of a nonprofit, currently undergoing her own health transformation. For the last year, she's had some incredible weight loss and really just a different person than she was when I met her a year ago. Another little benefit of being involved with Shaklee is all your growth you do along the way. But Zoe, how do you respond when people say, what if I don't have enough time to run a business? You seem like somebody who has no time. How do you do it?
Well, as Pam said, I'm the mother of 7, and anybody on here relate? If you want something, you ever hear the saying, if you want something done, ask the busy person, right? 7 kids, and I still found time to be the room mom and the advocate for kiddos with special needs because I had one, the softball coach, the baseball coach, the Cub Scout leader, the Boy Scout leader, the CCD teacher, right? Is as people, we find time for what we think is and deem as important. So whether it's while the kids are napping, in between the errands, I don't go out to do Shackley, but I do Shackley while I'm out. In fact, Pam and I had lunch together earlier this week, and we ran into 3 different sets of people that she knew, and she was able to do business while we were just out having lunch. And it truly is, if you find it of value, you'll find time to do it. So instead of, you know, um, doing that thing that doesn't do you any good, you replace that, and it can be small bits of time, whether it's taking the hour to do all your posts for the week, whether it's sending emails in the middle of the night because that's when you're awake if you don't sleep, right? There's always pockets of time to do things.
Absolutely. And I think I really like what you said, Zoe, about the busy people. Busy people get things done. And sometimes the busy people are the best people to do a
Right.
little Shackley business. Great. Thank you so much, Zoe. Next, let's hear from Moira. Moira is also from the suburbs of Chicago and mom of 4 adult children. She's been using the products and running her business for over 20 years. And in fact, Moira was my first ambassador who joined me about 22 years ago when our oldest sons met in childcare at the health club and they wanted to play with each other. So we've had a great long friendship together. And Moira has been my co-host over in the Sneak Peek Facebook group. And she was she's in my back pocket all the time. She's here to help me tonight, anchoring me when my hair is on fire when I come in here from crazy land. But it's always great to work alongside you, Moira. And I want to know, what do you say? Well, it's been a while since you joined as an ambassador 22 years ago. Did you worry about what your friends and family say? Many people worry about what other people are going to think if they get into that business. What do you do with friends and family, especially? What do you say?
It's a good question. And I do, as I knew I was going to answer this, I was thinking back to those. That seems like an awful long time ago, over 20 years ago. And I know that I
worry what other people say, right?
That's when I did worry. Yes, I did. Yeah. And I did because, and I think it was really because I was a little unsure about what I was doing. I was unsure, was I going to say the right things? And was I going to offend them? And all I needed to do was learn a little bit more. And that's what I love about this company, is that we've been able to, there's so much training, and you've helped me, and many of these people on this call have helped me just to learn how to say things differently and to ask more questions. And then I got more comfortable for sure myself. So the training has been great. But I also have realized, as I've been able to help so many people throughout the years, and I've heard other people's stories, that I would rather somebody tell me no than I'm not interested. Tell me no, then no, why didn't help me out here? They tell me no, then why didn't you tell me? Because I've had so many people that, they said no, but then a couple of years later, they said, okay, what was that you talked to me again? Or now I have a health challenge. Or my mother did the same thing. Like, she kind of poo-pooed the vitamins. And then when she had a health challenge, she came to me and said, my chiropractor said the Shackley vitamins are the best ones for me to take. So I just know that in this business, we're serving other people. And I've learned how to speak with people and ask questions and things like that. But I also have learned that not everybody's going to be interested in this, and that's okay. But I just want to help people. And so I say, you know what, are you interested? That kind of thing. And I would rather, and if my friends and family don't say yes, then I just move on to somebody else, because there's other people that are really looking for what Shackley has to offer in the way of either health or in the business and putting money in your pocket.
Right. And many times people start with their family and they get a no from their family, and they get a little judgment or some kind of negative something from their family, and they stop. And remember, we are sifting and sorting. It's like sifting for gold, and you'll find your gold. I found my gold early with Moira, and that's been a really good example for people to know. You'll find your gold, not always right away, but keep sifting. You'll find it. Great, Moira.
Well,
Thanks.
and I think that, yeah, and I think that so many people have a preconceived notion about what this business is all about. And so it's our job to just ask questions and try to, just like we're doing tonight, what are your concerns? Tell me what your concerns are and let's talk through that.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. Great. Now let's hear from my friend Colton. Colton also lives in the Chicago suburbs. I didn't realize how many Chicago people we had here tonight. But he joined Shackley as an ambassador right away about a year and a half ago. And he was looking for an opportunity to add to his income, like many people in his late 20s. It's late 20s now, Colton. So, but he was checking out a different company, and you can hear his story. Go back in this sneak peek group and listen to his story. He recorded it today, and he was looking at a different company, and then he spoke to me, and it was a good conversation. And he said yes to Shackley, and I'm so grateful that he did. So, Colton, can you please talk to us? What were your greatest fears, since it was recent for you, just last year, and you were looking at another company and then looking here, and what were you afraid of, and how did you come to terms with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that it's a pretty common question too when you're trying something new, when you have no experience, you don't know what to do. For me, it was like my fear was, what are people going to think of me? I have no experience in business, and what if I fail? And the question I always ask, well, what if you don't fail? What if this is bigger than you ever could have imagined, right? I feel a lot of people look at the negative side, and why you look at the more positive side? Because, we get to control our thoughts, and I'm going to control more of the positive side of things, right?
Right.
And another thing for me too is, there's not a lot of things I'm fearful of, but one thing I am is, when I'm at the last, maybe months or weeks of my life, and asking myself, did I do enough when I was younger? Right. And I think that's a fear of mine. And this is a wonderful opportunity. And you don't know who you could meet. I mean, I got reconnected with Pam. I had a chance to meet Moira and Stacy and Rachel and all these phenomenal people, and Zoe. And it's been an awesome experience, and I'm extremely grateful for that. You also learn a lot about yourself, right? Because what business really is it's just sharing your story about who you are and what you do and why you're passionate about what you're passionate about. I think people think of business and it's this big word, business. I don't know how to be a business person. It's really easy, especially when you have fun with it and you just talk with people. That's what I learned. And you also learn a little bit about yourself too, right? I think it's always fun to invest in yourself and learn more about who you are and where you're going and what you want to accomplish. So for me, I look at fear as a positive as opposed to a negative. And I'm going to pose this question again: is what would you rather have, a life full of regrets or a life not full of regrets? So
that's exactly right. And you can't fix what you can't face. So face your fears and get them fixed, right? So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Colton. It's so good to have you with us, as always. Next, let's hear from Daphne. I recently met Daphne, and she hails from the great state of Florida. And she has a daughter, and she once held a full-time government job and then she joined us as an ambassador based on somebody's Shackley t-shirt that she saw. She has a really great story. Go back and listen to hers. And Daphne, we're glad to have you here tonight. I know that you're a busy mom, and many people think you have to spend a lot of time on social media to be successful in a business like Shackley. Is that true? Do you have to be good at social media and be on the phone all the time? I mean, the last thing I want to do is be doing this all the time. Some people think that. What happens, Daphne? Is that the case with Shackley?
It is definitely not the case. So when I started my Shackley ambassador journey, I was a full-time federal employee and I had a newborn at home. So it was like the double whammy of not having any time. But there was a Shackley mentor in my life who just quietly said, there are other options here. And so I built my entire business in the nooks and crannies, in the margins of my day, which was oftentimes early morning, late at night, like Zoe said, middle of the night. But I didn't have a ton of time, and I was able to figure it out. And I couldn't possibly be online all day because federal employees are not allowed to be doing their own work while they're at their computer. So I would say that I'm also not a social media expert, and I did not have time to learn all the social media things when I started my business. But the beautiful part about a Shackley business is it's your business. You get to decide what that looks like. So if you want to be 100% online with social media, go for it. If you want to do your whole business person to person, go for it. I would recommend a hybrid approach of social media and person to person, because I think that's where the magic is. But you don't have to be an expert. And as everybody has already talked about today, the community of Shackley is absolutely unbelievable. And the tools and resources that Shackley offers, and then folks like you that are willing to share, it's amazing. You can't even put a value on it. It's unbelievable. So you don't have to be an expert, and you don't have to be
Right. We didn't have social media when some of us started, and you
Yep.
can do it without, you can do it with. And I really like your advice about making it be a mix. So it doesn't have to be all the time, and you can make it what you want to make it because you're the boss. And that's what's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Daphne. It's great to have you tonight. Next up is my friend Rachel. Rachel is from California, and she is a dietitian, and she joined us just earlier this year in 2022. She came from another wellness company where she was very successful over there, and we're happy to have her here at Shackley. She's contributed so much for us. And Rachel, let me ask you this. What do you tell people when they ask, I'm not good at selling, how could I be successful? I can't sell anything.
That is a great question. And good evening, good afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this broadcast. I had done the assignment earlier, but I didn't get it right. So I'm going to try to get it right this time. And just today, we were sitting out by the pool. My friend had forgot some sunscreen, and it is 86 degrees here in Southern California today. And I was like, oh, here, try this. It's a lotion and it's a sunscreen. And she's like, oh, this is great. I love the smell and texture of putting on her body. And she's like, what is this? I'm like, it's Shackley. She's like, get out of here. So right there, I wasn't selling. I was sharing. Here's my sunscreen, sister. Use it. And as we were sitting there, she's like, it's too early for a cocktail. I'm like, yes. But it's not too early for a mocktail. So I put together some sustained energy with our multivitamin peach mango and grape sustained energy. And I made her a nice little drink. I took a lime, I took a lemon, I squeezed it in there and even put a little umbrella. I'm like, come back in 3 hours. But right now you're drinking this. And she was like, wow, what is this? It's our multivitamin and it's our sustained energy with a little squeeze of lemon. And she's like, this is fantastic. She's like, where'd you get it? I'm like, Shackley. So you don't have to be a salesperson. You just have to be a social one and share. And you don't have to be that social, not on social media. But if you're talking about the things that you love, then it's not salesy. So be a product of the product. We talk about that. We kind of coin that as a phrase. And it really is the truth. How many times have we walked into a restaurant, we absolutely love it, great service, great food, it's clean, and we're the first person to recommend it to a friend? How many times do we find a pair of running shoes, walking shoes, hiking shoes, whatever kind of shoes, high-heeled shoes, and we're like, oh my gosh, I love these. These are great. They're on sale. Oh my gosh, you got to go get them, girl. They're on sale. We talk about stuff all the time. We are consumers. We like to consume not just products, but we also like to talk about them. And so why not talk about products that you love? I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I really need to clean my phone, and I don't want to do it right now because then I'm going to take it off of mute. And I have my handy dandy little Shackley wipes, and I'm wiping everything down. Just moved my daughter into college, and her entire apartment all have Shackley wipes. I got all of their cleaning stuff, and their dorm, their RN is like, what is this stuff? It's great. I'm like, it's Shackley. Here's my link. So I just want to share, it's not hard. You just have to think outside the box. It's not salesy. It's actually just brilliant, to be honest. So you don't have to be a salesperson. You don't have to know marketing. You don't have to have any kind of branding degree. I certainly don't. I'm a dietitian. I'm a nerd. Talk to me about biology and I'll tell you all about it. I'm nerdy. And I love talking about the human body. That has nothing to do with sales. So you just have to be willing to share what you're doing, why you love it, just like you would anything else. And
that's exactly right. We used to say, Moira and I used to say in the beginning, we'd say, you don't have to go out and do Shackley. You can do Shackley when you go out. That, serves the time thing. And you just kind of have your antenna up listening for needs. And when people present needs, then we present an option, a solution to their situation or their problem. And that's where the sales are made. So that's exactly right, Rachel. Thank you so much. Thank you. And lastly, let's hear from Stacy. Stacy is joining us from Canada, and you can do business in Canada as well. If you have friends in Canada and you're here in the US or vice versa, you can build a team in Canada and or the US. So we're happy to have you here tonight, Stacy. And just like Rachel, Stacy was with another company and she joined us earlier this year as well. And Stacy, can you please wrap us up tonight by sharing your answer to this question? What do you think makes Shackley different from other social marketing companies? You've worked for another company, and I'm sure there's one or two things that are different about Shackley. Yes?
Yes, there are a few, Pam. So I came over here from an activewear company where there was a limit to what you could sell, right? Because you were just selling activewear. Where here we're selling like from ages, did you take Shackley as a baby, Pam?
Well, when I was 8 years old, they didn't have baby things then.
No?
Kids
Oh, okay.
when you could swallow a vitamin, you could take it. And way back. This is almost 50 years ago. So I had a
yeah. So we're having a prenatal 9 soon, guys. But so it's from, a little one up until, you're 100 years old. So here it's different, whereas like you could help everyone. And that to me was very different. I wanted to make a huge impact on the planet. There's only so many leggings someone can have in their closet, or so many mascaras, or, you know what I mean? So here, like the health and wellness industry is going to reach 7 trillion, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Pam, by 2025. So I saw a real impact here for me, for my family, and for everyone else, right? Because you can essentially help everyone here. You can help the kids at the arena. You can help your elderly neighbors, right? So I saw an opportunity here to like just truly change so many people's lives. And you feel that from the moment you meet with your team, corporate, like we went to conference, I met people who were, 50, 60, 70 years old. And they were just like on a mission. Everyone's on a mission to make a huge impact. Whereas like other network marketing companies, you kind of have this little, everyone has their own little like clique per se, and you're just with your own team. So here it's not like that. Like we're networking with everyone in the company. It doesn't matter the age. Some people sell online, some people don't. Some people do like in-home parties, tea parties, like some people don't even do social. So here it's very different. Whereas like new companies, other network marketing companies are all online. They're doing TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. This company is 66 years old, so they're financially stable and everything is in place for us. Like everything is figured out, right? And that's what I felt was like, if we needed help, we could get it, because they've tested stuff for how many years, right? So everything has been tested. It's backed by science. We don't have to worry about product being shipped. We don't have to worry about inventory. We don't have to worry about the products maybe being good or not. Like we know they're backed by science, right? So that's what I felt right away when I started using the products, was they actually work. And I could sell them to everyone. I could sell them to the kids. I can sell them to my 85-year-old neighbor, right? And everyone needs help with their health and wellness, right? Like other companies, leggings, makeup, whatever it may be, not everyone needs that. Not everyone needs that. And here everyone needs help from the inside out.
Right. And it's a consumable product. So if
yes,
you're in this business, you want to have people who purchase in January purchase again in February and again in March and April and May. They buy a pair of leggings, for example, or a Tupperware bowl or a book or a piece of jewelry. They don't need another one of those for sometimes years. So the consumable product and a high quality product with a visionary leader, those 3 things, that 3-pronged approach is really super powerful. And I think too that they pay, Shackley pays upfront and that's very impressive. They pay daily when you start.
Yeah, the daily pay, Pam. I don't think any other network marketing company does that. So the daily pay is your bonus on top of your commission. And other network companies, you get a commission check once a month.
Right. And the other thing,
So-
is another difference I hear from people is the trips. Oftentimes other companies say, yes, we'll put you up in an all-inclusive resort, but you got to get yourself there. And
Mhm.
you got to
You always have to pay
your
airfare.
airfare, but we'll
have to
put
pay
you up there
airfare.
once you get across the globe to tropical, wherever the heck. That will pay.
Yeah.
So I love that. I thank you, Stacy. There's lots of good things as you stick around and listening to Shaklee people share. You'll see a lot of great differences about what Shaklee has to offer for you. So thank you so much for all your contributions today, Stacy. Thanks everyone, because the answers were so good. They're always different every month, and we love to hear from all of you. So before we close this up, we had a special guest who was going to share this with us, but that's been tossed back to me because our guy, Robbie Carter, who's the Director of Business Development for the Eastern US region, is in the dental chair at present, and he can't get out of there. So this day, you have to just manage yourself. We have a great product called Stress Relief Complex. I recommend it to you if you're ever stressed out in a situation like I am, and we just keep on moving. There we go, Daphne. So I have the offer because we did talk before the call, and I'm going to share it with you now. Okay. So when you enroll as an ambassador by this Sunday, this is a time sensitive offer. So make a note, by this Sunday at midnight Central Time, the doors shut on this offer. You can take advantage of these special offers. Purchase your business kit. It's $49.95. It gets you set up with your website and everything you need to get going. And you add $200 of product to your cart. You will get a 20 serving canister of collagen, Shaklee Collagen 9 for $5. I think it normally costs $30. You get it for $5, and you get to choose a free product of your choice at $50 member price. Okay, it gets better. If you purchase your business kit for $49.95 and you add $250 of product to your cart, you will get that 20 serving collagen 9 for $5, and you'll get a free product of your choice valued at $100 member price. So, do a little quick math on that, because spend an extra $50 to get an extra $50. You get a $100 product now. So that's a good one. Do that. And then it gets even better, because if you enroll as an ambassador and what you've heard tonight encourages you to get active right away, or if when you're sitting there, you thought of somebody who you want to do this with you, like I thought about Moira right away, and I was like, I need a partner in crime. I need another person to do this with me, because it's more fun when we do things together, a little partner. If you thought about that, or you thought about someone who might benefit to be a Shaklee member and use some of these products that really make a difference in your life, and you get active and you enroll, or we call it sponsor, one member or an ambassador by October 15th, you get a $50 product credit in your account. So that offsets the cost of your $49.95 business kit, right? So that's how you get a free business kit and collagen for $5 and a free product of your choice. So all these things are adding up. And if I'm sitting there looking at this opportunity, I'm going to go put $250 in my cart, get my business kit, and tell a friend ASAP so I can get $50 credit back in my account. And you can start a business for virtually nothing. So that would be awesome. And like I said, I hope everyone will take advantage of this by Sunday night. The doors close midnight. I will stay up and take all this recording down, and it will never have happened. So you have to hurry and get in there by Sunday at midnight. There will be a Google sheet that Robbie will put into the group. And then if you're joining in as an ambassador, upgrading from a member to ambassador, or joining us new as an ambassador, your person who invited you here will fill this Google sheet out and get it to Robbie Carter with your product of your choice. You can choose anything you want. And within those parameters of the pricing, and Robbie will get it out to you under separate cover. It won't come with your order. It'll come in a separate package, but he will get it to you right away. So that's all we have for tonight. And we will be back again in October, adding more stories with another live Q&A event. So you ambassadors who are here, rally your troops and get them here, and get these more people coming in and helping spread the good news about Shaklee, so we can help bring wellness to the entire world. So thank you so much.